Hello and welcome back to Hyperplay. Anbernic have just officially revealed the Anbernic RG slide, and it does have a 4.7-inch 120Hz screen. What glory! And we've got to say fair play to Mr. Nitrix, because his predictions were absolutely spot on, as we will come to see in the latest video from Anbernic. It's about 1.5 minutes long, so we can breeze through it. So we have the black model here, 4.7-inch screen, much larger than we were thinking that it would be. LTPS, we'll get onto that. Yes, it's touchscreen, which is great. A lot of people will be wanting to whip out their slide and just get tapping away on it without having to slide it open all the time. But it does also have a 120Hz refresh rate screen, which is absolutely phenomenal. That's really going to help your games run buttery smooth. And in this portion of the video, they showcase the difference between a 60Hz screen and a 120Hz display refresh rate. All very impressive, but what can the dang thing actually do? Well, Android gaming, as you might expect. Here's Genshin running very nicely, and we can see the thumbsticks in motion there. A lot would depend on the quality of those thumbsticks. Anbernic have been a bit up and down on theirs. 556 not so good. 557 too small. 406 H and V very good. So hopefully we'll have something more similar to those 406s. And yes, PS2 God of War, and on this video they're pushing PS2 and a Wii, but is that the Wii version of Twilight Princess or is it the GameCube? Regardless, it looks like the chipset will have absolutely no problem running PS2, Wii and GameCube. And delightfully, if rather monochromatically, the RG slide comes in a white variant as well as the black. Before we have a detailed look at the screen, please would you give this video a like? We'd be really grateful, thank you. And here is that screen, much better than we expected, even with Nitrix's prediction. LTPS. Low temperature polycrystalline silicon, of course, I'm sure you're fully aware of that, but 4.7 inches of glory. It is apparently made by BOE, which is a state-owned Chinese screen company that seeks to rival Samsung for its displays. Best on Earth is apparently what BOE stands for. Opinions differ as to how good they are, whether they truly are the best on Earth screens. They did apparently do the screen for the Steam Deck limited edition OLED model. And there were some reports of dead pixels on those screens, so we would wait for the reviews, wait and see if there are going to be any issues with this screen. But on paper, for sure, it looks absolutely fantastic with that 4.7-inch screen. 4:3 aspect ratio, perfect for those mid-tier consoles we mentioned earlier. It does rather suggest that the chipset isn't going to be able to emulate Wii U and Switch, which rather lends itself to the proposition of being a T820 chip, such as that found in the RG556 and the 406H and 406V offerings from Anbernic previously. And that makes sense because those systems are obviously much better on a 16:9 display, and hopefully it means that the price will be much lower than something like the RG557. We would wager that this RG slide will come in roughly at around $150 and would be a compelling proposition if it does, particularly if the screen is as good as it's cracked up to be. No cracks on the screen please, or missing pixels. But wait for the reviews, we would say, before pre-ordering. Now, this latest video on the RG slide didn't show Anne. It might have had Anne's hands, but in particular it didn't show the back of the RG slide. So here it is again, and that is a wrap for the time being. We await price, we await the SoC. We are desperate I tell you, to know the chipset tucked away inside the RG slide. As soon as we know, you'll know. We'll bust out a video in double quick time, as we always do. So subscribe to Hyperplay, and all that remains to say is happy handheld gaming, vertical, horizontal, or on the slide. Goodbye.